Hi, my name is Terry Moore, and this is my story. Um, when I was a kid, I always had issues with anxiety and a fear of my mother dying. Um, Throughout my childhood, some years were better than others. School was always a major problem for me. When I was in high school, I finally was homeschooled, and it was one of the best things that ever happened, which wasn't really known about back then, but it still was the best thing for me. Anyways, during that time, I was able to come out of my shell and go out into the world and have a life. And then got married, had a child, and ended up having a lot of health problems, and went on a journey to figure out what was going on. And it was basically just a lot of gaslighting and doctors that wanted to pin everything on anxiety and depression, and there were still real physical problems. And so I spent years going doctor to doctor trying to figure out what the root cause was, and never really got many answers, but still tried to live a good life. And then 4 years ago, my one of my dogs got cancer. We didn't even know about it until it was too late. And then a few months later, the other dog got cancer, and it was pretty similar cancer. It was another mouth cancer, and spent 8 months trying to get her quality of life, and lost her in June of 2019. And if that wasn't hard enough, both of my parents had fallen at their home here in Denver. And my mother fell first, trying to go help, or my father fell first, and then my mother fell trying to go help him. And that was the beginning of a horrendous nightmare of caregiving and things that I never thought I would be able to do, but I did. And he ended up passing away in November of 19. It was a horrible, awful ending. He ended up in hospice, which he wasn't terminal, but that was the only care we could get for him that Medicare would pay for. And basically, the hospice, in my opinion, killed him. So I was grieving not only the way he died, but the loss, and was trying to find support, grief support, and was having a really hard time finding that. Reached out to many churches, synagogues, any kind of, even the hospice, and was not getting any support. So I went out on my own to try and create a group for myself. And in the meantime, my mother was diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's. Tried to keep her in her home for a year. We kept her in home for almost a year, and then ultimately she was hospitalized 5 times. She went septic 5 times, and ultimately I had no choice but to put her in memory care in the summer of 2020. And if that all wasn't hard enough, my sister, who was chronically ill most of her life from the time she was 19, became extremely, extremely ill last November. In fact, she was rushed to a hospital here in Denver, and I was told that she had died. And when I was trying to process all of that, and got a phone call that said that they got her back, which I thought was a miracle, and there was a reason that she was there, and she was brought back for a reason, and tried to hold on to that hope. But unfortunately, after 4 months of horrendous suffering in numerous hospitals and rehabs, we lost her in March of this year, of 2022. So anyways, I guess my story is that has to do with a lot of different things: anxiety, depression, grief, caregiving, mental health, undiagnosed illness. It's a lot. And I just want my story to be told in the hopes that something good can come out of this, and that it will be able to help somebody else down the road to know that you're not alone. this life is hard, and we need people to come together and help each other through it, and I'm just, hoping that by sharing my story, it's going to help somebody else. And I just don't ever want anyone to feel like they're alone. If you ever, need somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out. And I hope this helped somebody, feel like they can, go on and, have something good come out of whatever they're going through.